Hey guys, I'm here. Last night I went and saw Ghostbusters Afterlife out at the theaters. This film is directed by Jason Reitman. He is also one of the writers on here alongside Gil Kenan. The story picks up 37 years after the original Ghostbusters, and we're following a single mother played by Carrie Coon and her two children played by Finn Wolfhard and Mckenna Grace as they are struggling to make ends meet and are about to get evicted from their apartment when they receive a notice that they've just received an inheritance from their estranged grandfather. So they pick up, they move out and see what they just received, and it turns out to be a spooky home on the outskirts of a small town in the middle of nowhere where something seems to be a little amiss in this town. The world has not seen ghosts in many years. The Ghostbusters are mostly long forgotten at this point, and they don't really know their grandfather at all, the kids. Mckenna Grace is very much like Egon herself. She is the draw of this movie. She is the heart and soul of it, and I think she steals the show in this. I think she's a lot of fun. I found her quite charming in her awkward performance and her awkward just personality in general, and especially her sense of humor. I definitely enjoy her sense of humor. Along the way, she enrolls in the school there, and we see her struggle to kind of make some friends. She ends up making friends with a little podcaster. Of course, we got to have like a podcaster in any one of these modern settings, and they kind of quickly become friends. And that's where she learns about kind of the reputation her grandfather has garnered from being just kind of like this hermit off on their own. And what exactly was going on there. That becomes the mystery of most of the film, is what was Egon doing out here this whole time, and why did he hold up out here? Why did he estrange himself from his daughter and his grandchildren? What happened and what was so important? And that's where the mystery kicks in. Paul Rudd is their summer school teacher who gets wrapped into this with everybody as well. This film rides really hard on nostalgia, as you can kind of tell just from the description itself. It definitely picks up and it carries on the legacy that was left after the original two films and tries to carry that back into the future and bring that forward. There's a lot of awe. There's definitely a lot of whimsy and nostalgia to this whole air of the film as we see Mckenna Grace's Phoebe rummage through her grandfather's old research, his old equipment, his home, and learn about his life, his past, what they had actually done, and then rediscover the Ghostbusters legacy that has been left behind for so many years. As we saw in the trailer, the commercial, the original commercial that they had created comes back up as a YouTube video as they talk about the event of that happened back in '84 in New York. And I do say that it's a lot of fun. This is a charming movie. It is a beautifully shot movie, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan. I think you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this. If you're not so much, I'm not sure how much it's going to work for you. It's definitely an enjoyable flick. It definitely is very, like I said, heartwarming. It is emotional. It is funny. But it has some structural problems as far as the script, the pacing, and all that kind of go. It does kind of slog for a little bit, and it does kind of at other points seems like it's jumping around a little too much. But this movie, if you're a fan of the original film, there are so many member berries in this movie, man, like a lot. And some of them do feel a little clunky in their placement. They do kind of feel a little shoehorned in to kind of trigger that little part of your brain that's like, I remember that. And that happens quite a bit. There's a lot of that in this movie, but it's all surrounded from a place of warmth. Like there's a actual like care and love and passion for this project that I think kind of makes it all come from good faith. I do really feel like everybody involved in this has their heart in the right place. I don't feel like this is egregious. I don't think it's like malicious nostalgia or anything like that. And I feel like they do kind of honor the legacy of the Ghostbusters in a really interesting way in this. And there's some surprises in here, some things I didn't quite expect them to go. I saw some people actually kind of predict the direction this movie might have taken from the trailers alone. But I had a lot of fun with the ride. I had a lot of fun with the characters themselves, the new ones and old. But like I said, it is a little clunky. There are two pretty egregious and very apparent plot holes that come up in the movie, just so that they can have certain things happen. But all in all, if you're just in this for a fun time, or you're just a fan of Ghostbusters, it's not really going to bother you all that much. And honestly, as much as it was a big old glaring thing for me, I didn't care. I came into this pretty much expecting a nostalgia-fueled, ghostly adventure, and that's kind of what I got. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was well shot. It was gorgeous. The landscapes, the visuals, all that are top-notch. The special effects, I even thought they were quite astounding for what they've had, especially considering the past of the franchise and where it's been before. I think it looks pretty good all in all. And the performances were mostly solid across the board, especially from our new cast. I thought they did a great job. I will say minor spoilers if you weren't aware, but I feel like this was on the ether going into the movie before it came out. And it was kind of teased in the movie itself in the trailer. So if you don't want to hear about anything, minor spoilers, skip ahead maybe like 30 seconds-ish. So the original cast, the surviving cast, do return in this in various ways. And I gotta say, some of their performances were not so spectacular. little rusty, little rough around the edges, but all in all, it was kind of for a charming purpose and reason in the end. So I can forgive it. But all in all, like I said, it was a fun film. Flawed film. I definitely understand how it took a while for this movie to kind of get off the ground, let alone get delayed due to COVID. So that being said, guys, I want to know what you thought. Have you seen Ghostbusters Afterlife? If so, sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. If you want to, you can also join our Discord. Links to that on my socials are down below. Before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yuri Kurzkov, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, and Jeffrey Hale. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and everybody who's been tuning into these videos and joining the channel here recently. But guys, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.